Hi, in this video I want to share what positioning is. So a lot of my clients come to me because they want to know how I position myself and how I started marketing my own work. And they want to find out so that they can do the same. So I am more than happy to actually share exactly how I got to position myself the way I am right now. So here, we look at, well, in terms of positioning now, I'm not the best communicator in the world, and I do my best. I try my best to make it so that it's understandable for you. So to get to the positioning part, we have to understand who that you are serving, you're seeking to serve. Before you ever get to positioning, you have to understand your audience. At the start of our conversation, I gave you the definition of marketing and branding. So just to recap, marketing is building a brand in the minds of your prospects, and branding is making a promise and keeping it consistently for a group of people who get the joke. The joke in the context is your project, your mission, your message. So in other words, it is not for everybody. You cannot be all things for all people. In other words, you have to know who it is that you are talking to. Only then we can look at positioning. The reason for this is because we have to look at those people's needs and wants and desires. I don't want to go deep into the distinction between needs and wants and desires, but I clump them together here just to make this conversation to go a little more easily. So when we look at people's desires and wants and hopes and things like that, we look at two things. I had to look at two separate elements of this because I believe as a professional photographer and a coach, they want professional photos, stylish images, and they want to be directed because they don't know how to pose in front of the camera. And also they want a personalized service. That's what I believe you all want. But beyond that, below that desire, beneath that explicit wants and desire, we have these elements: connection, belonging, seen as successful person, aspirational, confident, and have some clarity around what it is that you want and you want to be seen as and what your mission is about. Now, on surface, it seems obvious to you now, but it was not clear as start of my own personal branding journey because I was so stuck at that level. And that's what I knew that I could do. But it took a lot of digging to understand this is essentially what you want. I hope this resonates with you because it took a lot of emotional labor to actually get the joke that this is really incidental. What you want are these. So only then I was able to actually see how I could position myself in the sea of thousands of photographers in Perth, WA, or even Australia, nationwide. So what does it mean then, positioning? What is positioning? Positioning is explained by Seth Godin drawing some axes like these, vertical and horizontal axes, based on people's desires and wants. Now, on the surface level, I could draw a set of axes for providing professional service and personalized service instead of amateurish service or cookie cutter service. In that quadrant, in this set of axes, I can position myself here. But if you look at the market in general, there are plenty of photographers who can do that. In other words, you are not alone in that particular quadrant, or according to the branding expert Laura Ries and Jack Trout, that category, you are not alone because there are plenty of people. What that means is that you are not actually positioning yourself in the minds of your prospects. There are so many of us doing the same thing, so your name is not going to pop up, or your image isn't going to be in their minds, because there are plenty of us doing the same thing. So, going beyond that superficial level, the better set of axes that I could draw based on this research that I had was confident you and feeling empowered. And I make you feel and look influential rather than simply beautiful. Instead of being empowered, you could be feeling fearful, because essentially most of people who come to me have this fear of being seen. And my job, I believe, is making you feel empowered. Now, in this set of axes, which by the way took a lot of attempts, I drew half a dozen axes to get to the point of having this level of clarity. When I drew these axes, I could confidently set myself here in this quadrant, and I don't know of anyone who's doing this as a photographer. What it means, doing this as a photographer, that means I coach you. I teach you the foundation of what it means to market your work. I teach you the definition and ways in which you can brand yourself. This is part of it, but also there's a personal aspect, because it's personal, and influential meaning it's external, internal and external. See, it's quite clever. So we look at external factor of you fully embodying all the knowledge and skills required to show up artfully, and internal factor of being able to do the things you do in public arena consistently, needing internal work. This is the foundation of creating, in my line of work, creating personal successful branding images. Only when that happens as a result. So this is the positioning process that I went through less than 12 months ago. Now I'm recording this in end of May 2019. My own personal branding journey only started just less than a year ago. It didn't take long, but it took quite a lot of effort to nail this last year. And here I am now talking to you about it. So this is really a quick primer on positioning. I would like you to have a go at this. Look at your external factor, what it is that you provide, along with all your competitors, those who are out there doing similar line of work, and what it is your people want and desire. That's really where your positioning conversation starts, positioning work. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.